Welcome back. The state says it's crucial for young inmates, and some people want to see it closed.
The Nevada Youth Training Center has been controversial, and as we found out, it was almost shut down. In tonight's Vegas Lost, our John Trainer's here with a plan to close it.
It's really a story about how valuable kids are. Should we spend money to move those inmates closer to their families, or do Vegas kids help balance northern budgets?
They hogtied him and told him they went under the bathroom. They put him in a cell. He says he's got the marks on his hands because they did him so tight.
If a parent did that, it'd be child abuse. Probably charged criminal.
For District Court Judge William Voigt, that was the final straw in a long series of straws. 2014, inmates at the Nevada Youth Training Center in Elko, some Las Vegas kids, were being hogtied, shackled, restrained, marks left on their bodies. He knew then, as he knows now, the center had to close.
I've made it my Don Quixote windmill approach over the years to see that place closed.
And according to Judge Voigt, that place was all but closed. Let's go back 5 years before Voigt ordered all those Clark County kids removed from northern Nevada. The state was rethinking juvenile justice entirely. A commission was formed. Lawmakers, advocates, judges, all sitting together to talk about what needed to change. And early on, they had an idea.
The idea for regionalization is you keep your kids that need to be in a correctional type setting closer to the community they're in so that you can have that community engagement.
To understand why they wanted to regionalize, we went up north. Part of the criticism of the Nevada Youth Training Center is just how far away it is. It leaves parents with two options. They can either take the 7-hour drive from Las Vegas or do what we did. Get a flight to Salt Lake City, rent a car, and drive another 3.5 hours. It takes time, and it's expensive.
It's a huge thing because they're up there for let's say 8 months, and they come back home. Well, they come back to the same situation at home.
But there was more to criticism than family trips. There were real red flags. In 2002, the DOJ investigated the NYTC for civil rights violations. In 2012, a consultant was critical of their solitary confinement. Then hogtying happened. And Judge Voigt says, well, there's just no proof that Elko works at all. Were kids getting fixed when they were in Elko? Are kids coming back?
Well, the problem is no recidivism studies have been done to know the answer to that question.
So the plan, regionalize, keep Southern Nevada kids in Southern Nevada. We put that plan together using records from 5 years of committee meetings. Here's how the plan would work. Phase 1. By 2015, reduce the number of beds in Elko to just 40. Those would be Northern Nevada kids, not from Clark County. Phase 2. By 2017, close Elko entirely. The cost savings then sent back to the counties. Clark County kids would be housed here in North Las Vegas at Summit View. That plan was finalized and sent to the legislature. But today, you can go to the Nevada Youth Training Center, and you'll find that more than half the kids there are still from Clark County. So what happened?
So Elko is a critical piece for us. We have the Caliente Youth Center, which is for our lower risk kids. Summit View, which is our higher risk to reoffend kids. And Elko really helps us figure out that middle ground.
According to Armstrong, there wasn't enough money in the budget. Talk to someone who was on the committee, there's more to the story. Why was that never done?
It came down to whether the groups, the proponents or the opponents, could get together, iron out their differences. It just never got there. Both of them died in committee.
Assemblyman John Hambrook was one of the politicians and committee members who voted for the plan. He tells us what killed it was complicated. Yes, the state was worried about funding. There was infighting over who would be in charge of the new facilities. And counties up north fought the plan because more than half the kids in the NYTC are from Southern Nevada. And you need to keep the place running. Is it a funding issue, or is it an issue of who's going to watch over this, or of responsibility, or is it an issue of there are counties in the north that depend on Clark County kids being housed up there for funding and for jobs?
Without sounding too facetious, the answer is yes.
The plan died. So did the committee. In 2016, the governor dissolved it. The last item in the minutes, a request from Judge Voigt to talk about regionalization again. That next meeting, never happened. Yeah, as we found out last week when we featured the NYTC, there's a real belief that this program works. There have been changes up there. There's been an investment in the school up there. Judge Boyd, though, still thinks kids are better off closer to home.
Well, and I talked to their parents, some
Yes,
of
you
the
did.
parents who were featured in that, and they agree.
Right.
Keep my child here while my child goes through this training.
All right, so the debate continues.
Right.
What ultimately happens to the facility?
Well, right now the facility is open. No plans on shutting it down. This idea of regionalization right now still kind of on the back burner. There will be things introduced this upcoming session, we're told. We do not know, though, if regionalization is one of those ideas.
And something I found is, you see these stories and you think, that's those kids.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
It takes people of all walks of life to step forward and say, those are our kids.
Absolutely.
Those are our Clark County kids.
Children from our valley,
Yeah.
from our communities.
That's right.
All right, John, thank you again.
John gets a lot of these Vegas Lost stories from all of you. These ideas come from the viewers, so let him know. You can email us at vegaslost@news3lv.com. And in just a few minutes, he's going to be answering your questions live on Facebook.
All right, News 3 is